Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Was a Prodigy with an Unknown Bloodline. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode over in Anime King 2 of What If Naruto Rewrote the Past. And enjoy that guys. And also over in the Making 3, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was sent to a parallel multiverse. So go ahead and enjoy that. And on this channel I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto was broken by the people that he loves. So go ahead and enjoy that as well guys. And remember for you to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new and go ahead and click and join Anime King 2 and 3 guys and enjoy those. And become part of the Anime King family. So yeah, without further ado, we'll just begin this new episode. Start the intro. So, the last part that we left off. After the mission with Zabuza was over, the group had returned back to Konoha. Alira was still in a state that she wouldn't be able to fight properly, as Naruto had brought her to the hospital. Hiruzen arrived as he came with Neji. As Neji told Hinata that her father wished to speak with her, as Hiruzen had Neji scan Alira, as there was some damage to her chakra coils, as she would be out of commission for 2 weeks or so, until they properly heal and her chakra replenish. Know that it was just the three of them, as Hiruzen asked them about the mission, as Alira told them everything that happened, along with Naruto filling the gaps that she was not there for, as Hiruzen was rather surprised, as Naruto explained what happened to him and his eyes, as Hiruzen was shocked when Naruto demonstrated his new bloodline, as something like that was never heard of before. It was quite shocking what Naruto could do. He could basically project seals upon anything, and that was rather astounding, knowing how much seals that he knew, and he could simply project them on any item. Yes, it was rather shocking, as Hiruzen never expected any of his parents to have that, as he ended up telling Naruto who his parents were. Now knowing that, as he thought about all the prospects and jutsus that his father must have known, but Hiruzen told him that he wouldn't give him them until he made Jonin, as the Jonin test was coming up very soon after the Chunin exams. But Naruto was ready for the challenge, as Alira put Naruto in charge of her team, as he was going to be the Jonin sensei, even though he wasn't a Jonin yet, as he had shown the qualifications so far, not to mention, he guided them and he led them through the battle with Zabuza, as Hiruzen could understand why she wanted Naruto to be the leader of her team. So with that out of the way, Naruto took up charge. The first place he made his way to was Hinata, but they didn't do much talking as they started to make out, until Hayashi arrived and told Naruto that he would have to leave as Hinata training will begin shortly. As Naruto left a note in her keel, he then went to visit Kiba, as he told him what was going to happen, as he gave him a note. After that, he went to visit Shino, as he was making his way, as Naruto came up on his side to see a girl, as she was using a lot of weapons. As he came out there, he dropped into a stance after finding out that she was Lee's teammate. He figured that she would want to fight, judging from Lee's encounter with him, and not to mention Neji, who seemed rather, well, ready to lash out at him, judging from his speech. But Tenten wasn't just gonna rush into the things, but she was curious about him as he was a Chunin and yet he was her age. As the both of them started to fight, Tenten found herself outmatched in every single way. As Naruto was able to create staff out of elements, it was rather shocking, as she couldn't believe it. As he found out that her father owned the weapon shop as he made his way there. He knew her father, but he never knew that he had a child. Arriving there, Naruto pulled out a legendary weapon, as it was the one that Zabuza told him to take care of. But Naruto wasn't going to use it, so he wanted to be passed on to a proper master. The weapon rejected Naruto, but when Tenten poured her chakra into it, it accepted her. As Naruto told her she could keep it for free, Tenten was taken aback, as she had told him to follow her. But she looked quite angry, but she was not. He was perfect in her eyes, and she liked him very much. She startled him by kissing him, as Naruto was taken aback. But his mind focused on Hinata. He loved Hinata, he couldn't do this. As he apologized, he broke away from her as he made his way. But Tenten would not give up. He was literally perfect for her, and she would not just let it slip past her fingers that easily. As for Hiruzen, as he told the council about Naruto, and given that Naruto was the last male member of his clan, people brought up the CRE, but that would not be discussed until Naruto was older. But it was a possibility, as Naruto had woken up from a dream that night, as he had a dream about Tenten and Hinata. What was he even going to tell Hinata? He cursed to himself. That was basically that's what left off. You guys can switch across the play for yourself. So this is begin this new episode. Naruto groggily woke up. His mind was plagued with many dreams. He couldn't stop dreaming about the events that followed today. He felt guilty, really guilty. And his mind was showing him many dreams that included 3 of them. And also with one at a time. As he went to take a hot shower, as the water washed over him as he sat in there, his head looking up towards the ceiling. As he reflected over what he had called his eye, as Naruto decided to call it the Fuingen, since the village already had 2 dojutsu, he decided to name it in a similar fashion, so it was called the Fuingen, or the Seal Eye. He had not discovered much else in the past few days, but honestly to him, it was like a dream come true. To be able to project and activate seals from far was an amazing ability, opening up new realms of different techniques that set him off to a new train of thought. What techniques can he show them? He would just open them up to his library. Other than that, his main concern was Hinata. As he sighed as he dried off, as he got the clothes that maid had pushed through the slot through the door, black muscle shirt and his tuning vest, black pants with red stripes on it, black weighted combat boots, and per his routine, he activated his gravity seals. Unknown to his eternal rival Lee, due to his healing factor because of the Kyuubi, Naruto was able to up his weights a lot often. Currently, his weight was at 35x, and that equivalent to about 1,125 pounds, as his muscles were able to heal rather quickly, despite using those heavy weights. But he was still not close enough to Guy, who was sitting around 2,500 pounds, more than double what Naruto was wearing, as that is where Naruto wanted to reach and surpass him, speed and strength included. As Naruto made his way downstairs, surprised to see that his grandfather Sarutobi was already there. Usually the man was at the office. Oh, hey JJ. Hiruzen was surprised to see Naruto up this early. You're rather early, he said. Yeah, couldn't get much sleep, said Naruto. Dreams are getting to me. Nightmares? Don't worry, said Hiruzen. Those come with a job. The trick is not to let them get to you. Oh, not nightmares. Definitely not nightmares, said Naruto. But I heard some groans last night, Hiruzen said. Was it something involving a blue hair Kunoichi, he said. As Naruto blushed crimson. He might have been dreaming about Hinata, he said. No, he said. Naruto said Hiruzen. Okay, maybe. As Naruto was still just confused about his dream last night. He wondered though. Hey, Gigi, he said. Hiruzen was surprised usually. When he asked about his girlfriend, he would just clam up and not say anything else. Yes, Naruto, he said. Have you ever, like, more than one person at the same time? If there was a device that could have shown perverted thoughts going through someone's mind. Once Naruto asked that question, if that device had gotten anywhere near to Hiruzen, it would have exploded. Well, Naruto, is this anyone in particular, or is it just general? I swear, I won't tell anyone. Hokage's honor, he said. Naruto was a bit put off that Hiruzen dodged the question, but at least he had someone to talk to. As Naruto sighed, Tenten, he said. Hiruzen knew who he was talking about. The daughter of Orphan Maker. An older girl, huh? So you like more mature women, huh? As Naruto's face turned a different shade of red. Naruto, he said. It's okay to like more than one person. It's normal. Just make sure that you're incredibly careful in approaching the situation. If you have to choose, find a way to choose. And if you can't, make a compromise. Who knows? If you're extremely lucky, they might be willing to share you. As Naruto got himself lost in his thoughts, as they ate quietly. Afterwards, Hiruzen said his goodbyes as he went to the office, leaving Naruto there still in deep thought. As Naruto made his way to get a little workout out before going to meet Team 8. As he passed by a training ground where Tintin and him had first met, as it made him think about his dream. As he started to blush as he thought about his dream, which was rather vivid and a bit extreme. As he was so deep in thought he did not notice, as someone snuck up on him. The person tapped him on the shoulder, but he would not budge, as he seemed to be too deep in his thinking. As there was a smile on his face, his cheeks were red. The person punched him. As Naruto snapped into reality, he froze. As he realized that he was awake, taking out the thought of Tintin in his mind and the one that was standing here, as she was the one that snuck up on him. Naruto-kun, she said, "What were you thinking about?" "Oh, nothing," said Naruto. "Are you lying to me, Naruto-kun?" As Naruto felt someone approaching as he turned. Naruto-kun, as Naruto turned, as he recognized that voice all too well, as it was Hinata. She had the form, signed and ready, as he was a confident look on her face. "I will beat Neji," she said, as Naruto gave her a smile, as he hugged her and leaned in and gave her a kiss, which she happily gave back. It was then that Tintin spoke as Naruto almost forgot that she was here. "Hey, why does she get a kiss and I don't?" Hinata pulled back looking confused. What was this girl talking about? As she looked towards Naruto. There's something I want to talk to you about," he said. "Oh, so you haven't told her yet," said Tintin. "Naruto-kun, what is she talking about?" "Oh, well, you see, we made out in my supply closet yesterday, and it was good," said Tintin. As Naruto's eyes went wide at what she just said, as he was about to get his affairs in order to explain to Hinata, but it was too late. Her hand lashed out with a rather devastating palm strike, right in the stomach chakra point, as it knocked him out cold. His last sight was a crying Hinata running away. 15 minutes later, Naruto finally woke up, as Hinata had hit him right in the chakra point, and had messed with his entire system, putting him to sleep. As he saw an unfamiliar ceiling, it was pink. He was in a bed not his own, pink sheet and white blankets. To his right was Tintin, looking at him concerned for his health. Apparently, when Hinata hit him and the chakra flow was cut off, it deactivated his gravity seals, and she was able to carry him. "Drink," as she held out the cup. "You'll feel better." As Naruto slapped the cup out of her hand, as they hit the floor, he was angry. "I told you that was an accident. I love her." "Why did you tell her that?" said Naruto. "Because I like you too," she said. As Naruto blinked, not expecting this at all. They had just met yesterday. Could he really make that much of an impression on her? And not to mention he had played it off like nothing. So this confused him, as she did that probably out of jealousy, to mess up his relationship with Hinata. But he was still pissed off. "Then couldn't you have brought it up later?" he said. "I mean, that wasn't your business." "Neither am I." "Yes, you are," she said. "You've been nicer to me in the past day than any boy has to me before. All the girls always call me a tomboy, and I never really have any friends. The only time I see guys my age is when I got to team practices. And with Neji and Lee, do you think I honestly have much of a chance? Neji is too arrogant to deal with, and Lee is just too weird. But you're nice, kind, strong. And you gave me a legendary weapon, with nothing more than to see me smile. You surely weren't dismissing me yesterday. Why are you doing that today?" As Naruto sighed, he knew that she might have had it rough, considering that she was different, used a different style of fighting, and not to mention, yes, people would mistake her for a tomboy, and he realized that she was all alone training. But he loved Hinata. As he searched his mind, yes he did, but there was a part of him that liked Tintin as well. "I'm sorry, Tintin, it's just... I'll get back to you," he said, as he leapt off the bed. As he jumped through the window, his team could wait a moment. He needed to find Hinata. 30 minutes later, Naruto did not find Hinata, but he couldn't just abandon the team as well. But when he arrived at training ground, he saw all 3 of them there. As Naruto looked towards her with a pleading gaze to let him explain, but her glare was hardened. He needed to talk to her alone. As he decided to wait, as he opened up his portal library. Hey guys, it's only 2 weeks until Chunin exams start. Are you all intent on participating? Kiba and Shino handed in their sheets. As all of them nodded, as he handed all 3 of them their sheets back. Okay, in 2 weeks, you'll have to give those to the registration at Dex, where the Chunin exam will begin. As he looked to see Shino, Kiba was excited and Hinata was looking at the ground. Her Byakugan was activated though, she was probably looking at him. Well guys, I guess we should get started. If you have any questions, I will answer to the best of my ability. First thing first, all of you. Expose your stomach, he said. They looked at each other confused, but they all complied. As Hinata did not look nervous, she simply looked angry. As Naruto activated his eye, as he placed gravity seals on all of them, the seals took seconds to form on their stomachs. As Naruto saw the looks on their faces, he always forgot that not everyone studied Fuinjutsu. Those are gravity seals. Simply pump chakra into them, and they will increase, forcing your muscles to grow stronger. Gravity pull is about 32 pounds of force. If you were to push it to the next level, it will be 64, and trust me, you will feel that. Since we don't have enough time, I've put healing seals on them as well. I'm going to recommend that today you put all of your chakra in your healing seal and rest for today. Tomorrow, whenever you feel a muscle tear, just pull some chakra to the healing seal and direct towards that location. Yes, this will be difficult and hard, but I assure you in the end, it will pay off. I've never heard of this seal before. Even with all the stuff, that you taught us in the academy, said Kiba. That's because I made it, said Naruto. It's incredibly complex. Basically what it does is convert your chakra into healing chakra and stores it. Then, when you're ready, you can allow it to travel through your chakra pathways. However, some of my chakra is needed for the seal to work, so it would fade in about 2 weeks with the amount of chakra I put in there. As Shino raised the eyebrow at the new information, as he was impressed. But he knew that this was how Naruto got the level that she was at. If Sakura was half as smart as Naruto, maybe she would have been useful. Shino thought to himself as he chuckled inwardly. Little did the rest of Team 8 know, Shino has been placing bugs on Sakura to gather information on Sasuke and Sai. But whenever the bugs reported back, one of their main topic of discussion was about how useless Sakura was, and the stories of her failed attempts of getting Sasuke to notice her. Always get Shino laughing. It had become one of his main sources of entertainment that he enjoyed. That was probably the thing that made him realize that he was not that much interested in girls. But the things that Sakura spoke about when she thought that she was alone was rather, scary even for him. Before hearing about some of her fantasies, he never even had a dream that was rather, erotic. But the things that she talked about with herself. He was snapping his thoughts when Naruto spoke up. So anyway, I suggest that you fill your seals and go rest. Oh Kiba, let me put one on Akamaru. It will be weaker since you have to use your chakra, but it will function. Complying. Once it was over, Shino and Kiba left. As Naruto stood there, this was his chance. Hinata-chan, don't call me that. He just had to get her talking to him for her to understand. Sorry Hinata, he said. Can we talk? She gave no response, but she did not leave the field just yet. So he supposed that she was giving him an opening to talk. He stepped forward. As he motioned with his hand, she did not say anything as he placed her on her shoulder. He then sunshine away with them. As it took him a while as they got to the Hokage's monument. As Naruto sat down as he wanted to sit beside him, but she sat not too close. Hinata, it's not what you think. She snorted. We did make out, he said, as she was getting angrier. But it was Naruto. She was going to hear what he has to say. But it wasn't consensual. I was frozen by her. I didn't know what to do. I broke it off. And every second I was thinking about you. And how much I love you. I told her I love someone else. Hinata, no one in this world can ever replace you. Hinata looked towards him, tears in her eyes. She knew that he was not lying, she could just tell. She was just so sad and angry. But he was not lying, as she crashed right into his chest. Naruto-kun, she said, promise me that you will always be mine. Promise me. Hinata-chan, this time she did not object. She heard him pause, as she looked up. I'm sorry, but I can't promise that, he said. She pulled herself away confused. Why not, she said. Because of Konoha. I'm about to tell you something, but you cannot tell anyone else. The penalty is death. She narrowed her eyes, but she nodded, as she promised not to tell. My father is a fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. This makes me the last of Namikaze clan. Naruto had read up about all the laws and everything, so he knew everything quite well. And the moment that this news was public, due to my dojutsu, Naruto says, he looked towards her. And me being the last male member of Namikaze clan, Konoha laws require me to have multiple wives. When I become Jonin, I'm going to receive my heritage, and that is likely when the council will bring it up to me. Even if I say I will always be yours, that won't be the case, and I can't do anything unless I give up my dream and leave Konoha. I'm really sorry, he said, but I can promise you I won't let others be someone that you don't approve of. Hinata was frozen in ice since she heard the word Namikaze, as she removed his whisker marks to her memory and put those two bangs in his face and extend his hair a bit, those blue eyes, as she remembered the history book of the fourth Hokage. It was him. He was real Naruto's father. She took a long time, as she was just thinking. She did not move or do anything, as Naruto did not interrupt her. I understand, she said, but only people I find acceptable, right? Yes, said Naruto. And I'll be the first that you marry, right? She said. Yes, said Naruto. Her face turned red, and I will have your first child. As Naruto found himself blushing as well, thinking about that. Yes, he said. Well then, it's acceptable, she said, but only since you can't change it. As Naruto released a breath that he was holding for a long while, she then moved closer, as she whacked him over the head. Ow, said Naruto. She then hugged him, as she held on to him really tight, as she pushed him so she would lie in his chest as he lay back. There's something else I want you to know, said Naruto. It's another secret that you can't tell anyone, he said. She looked up at him. Nothing else could be that much surprising, as she nodded. The fourth Hokage did not kill the Kyuubi all those years ago. It is impossible to kill a beast like the Kyuubi, so they had to seal it in a newborn baby. Do you remember the day I was born, Aunt, said Naruto. Yes, October. Hinata froze, as she put the 2 days together. That was the same night that Kyuubi attacked Konoha. As she looked at Naruto, as he nodded. It was sealed inside of me by my father, said Naruto, to protect the village. I don't want to hold any secrets from you, so I feel that you should know this. This is why I strive to become Hokage. I could only imagine what my life would have been like if the Hokage hadn't took care of me, if he hadn't kept the secret away from the population. So many nights, despite everything I wish, I met my parents, and that got me thinking, what about the others out there who have no one? But still I had the dual man with me. He changed my fate. That is why I believe that anyone can change their fate. And I want to do the same thing for many people out there, especially most of them in this village, said Naruto. That is why I strive so hard to become Hokage. I want to prove that you can change anyone's fate. It doesn't matter what they have been through. And I will be the one to change many fates within Konoha. All I need is the title and the power that come with it, said Naruto. Tears were in her eyes as they started to leak down her chin. How could she be mad at him? He was so selfless. He was doing all of this for people out there, because he almost had a glimpse of what life would have been like before if he hadn't been taken by the Hokage. So he wanted to make sure that other people don't go through the same thing. And he had the 9 tails inside of his body, keeping Konoha protected every single day. He wanted to protect people even though he don't know them. She started to cry as Naruto wiped her tears. Don't cry, he said. She moved forward as she placed her lips on his own, as they basked in a tender kiss. She ended up falling asleep in his arms. As she woke up later, she was still in his arms, as he was there watching over her and the village. As she just went back to sleep. It was so wonderful. The next day, when Hinata and Naruto got to the training ground, they saw Kiba and Shino, as the both of them had ended up sleeping on top of the monument, as he had got to the training ground, as they were wearing the same clothing. As Shino and Kiba noticed that, and Kiba with his loud mouth had to say something. Hey Naruto, what did you do? Sleep with her? As he was trying to make a joke. As Naruto chuckled, funny. At least I sleep with the same species, he said. As Kiba snarled at the comment, as Naruto laughed. Hinata simply blushed. Okay, activate your gravity seals and get to work. If your seals are out of heal and chakra, come find me, he said. I will recommend starting at no more than 2x. Also, I'll leave out my portable library. Work on control first, and new techniques in a week. It's better to learn new techniques, with better control. Also, because of those seals, your capacity and control will also increase. So by the end of a 2-week period, you'll be a lot better, said Naruto. As Kiba and Nechi went off to start their training, Hinata looked towards Naruto. What will I be doing, she said. You'll be training to beat Nechi, said Naruto. Raise your seal to 5x and come at me. This will be your routine for the next 2 weeks. It will be painful, but I will heal your muscles and help them come along. And again, I will make sure that you're ready. Hinata nodded as she pushed up to 5x, as she immediately felt the weight, as she could barely move. But she was determined, as she was gonna make a stand. So she came at Naruto, but her movements were incredibly slow. Even an academy student could have beat her. After a few minutes, she felt her body spasm in pain. Naruto was by her side an instant. As he healed her, their practicing went on for several more hours after that, interrupted by Shino or Kiba asking for help in a certain area, or asking for a sparring partner, or basically a test dummy to try something on, as Naruto clones were good enough to do that. After 5 hours of training, they were all tired except for Naruto. Okay guys, let's take a lunch break and meet up back here later, he said. As they were all tired but they were all hungry as well. As he left, their gravity seals on as they made their way. As Naruto and Hinata went towards Ichiraku Ramen, on their way there they saw 3 people, adults, leaning on a post looking at them rather sternly. As Naruto turned towards the 3 people, Konoha, he said, looking towards the man in the middle. Once again you have proven yourself to be a worthy rival, boss. The 3 of them poof, revealing Konoha, Udon and Moge. Hinata and Naruto had been through this a lot of times. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. As the group had been trying to trick them to find a way, Konoha wanted to show that he was fit for the boss rival. Naruto had known him since he was born, and the kid always looked up Naruto. But he didn't have the chakra necessary to do what Naruto did at his age, although he was still the best in his class. He spread his knowledge with his friends as well, Moge and Udon, as together they were the 3 best in the academy. Hey boss, think you can teach us another technique now? We already have transformation down. Not now, we're gonna get lunch and head back to training. Come on, it won't take long. Lunch won't take you an hour. Or, will you be eating your girlfriend's face as well? As Naruto sighed, knowing that he wouldn't stop bugging them until he at least taught them something. But he figured that he would just lose the kid. He would teach him something later. Alright, tell you what. I'll teach you something if you catch me. Hinata jogged behind the group, as Naruto went off as Konoha went after him. As Naruto was making his way, someone turned the corner. As Naruto flashed, the sun shined right behind Konoha and the group. But Konoha did not slow down as he slammed right into the person. The person, who was wearing face paint, grabbed Konoha by his scarf. Hey brat, watch where you're going, he said, as the boy raised his fist to punch Konoha. The next thing he knew, his fist was grabbed, as Naruto snapped his wrist, as the boy cried out in pain and stepped away, holding on to his broken wrist. I don't know who the hell you are, but going after him is a bad move. You piece of cocky shit, said Kankuro, as he pulled whatever it was off his back, as Naruto was going to give him the chance to use it as he raised 2 fingers. But they were interrupted. Kankuro didn't know how close he was getting his ass kicked all over the village, as Temari stepped in the fray. Kankuro, don't go starting trouble, even if it is with surprisingly attractive Chunin boys. Temari, they started it. And what do you mean Chunin? Are you blind? Look at his vest. Although, he probably looked better with it off. The shirt too, she said, as she gave him a wink. As Naruto was wondering what the hell was going on. This was becoming a rather new occurrence. Was he handsome or something? As a handman came over him, as he realized it was Hinata, as Hinata glared at Temari, as Temari narrowed her eyes. Was she a friend or something more? She stepped forward, but Hinata pulled Naruto in a kiss. As Naruto was dazed after that rather passionate kiss, her cheeks was a bit red but she was in total control. As Temari backed away, damn it, he looked like a good kisser too. Temari had a rather unique situation, given who her brother was. She never actually had a boyfriend before, as she wanted to have one, but her brother made this really hard. Temari, Kankuro, are you causing trouble? As he heard the voice, it was him. He did not give them a chance to reply. If I find you fighting before the exam and disgrace in the sand, I will kill you. As Naruto felt the demonic chakra, and this was a sand. As Naruto linked itself to his mindscape, Kyuubi, he said, "What is it, mortal?" "That's the Ichibai vessel, isn't it? The one-tailed raccoon?" "Yes. Shigaku. It seems they have driven this vessel to the brink of insanity. The bags in his eyes suggest insomnia. Shikaku was always a crazy one. Well, in making his host crazy. The seal seemed to be somehow weakened. Lucky bastard. He can probably escape once the boy is sleeping. Now, leave before I kill you." Naruto knew that the fox couldn't kill him like this, but the fox's nails could go through the bar. Strangely enough, as Naruto knew a lot about seals, but yet, he didn't want to chance this one. As the boy had a country for love on his forehead, he was a bit on the same height with Hinata. He had red hair, and there was a big gort on his back. "Get control of your demon," said Naruto. The boy blinked in surprise. "Who are you?" he said. "Hinata, take Konoha and his friends back to Ichiraku. I'll meet you there soon," said Naruto. "Here, take my portable library. Just open it with chakra." Hinata took the scroll as she nodded, as she took the young kids with her. "My name is Sarutobi Uzumaki Naruto, Seal Master of Konoha. I'm willing to make a deal with you, but first, send your teammates away, and Sasuke. Eavesdropping would not be permitted." As Gaara looked towards his team, as he sent them away as he was intrigued by this boy. Sasuke jumped down from the tree that he was in, but he ignored Naruto. "What's your name?" he said. "Gaara. I am Sasuke Uchiha, and I'll be the one to defeat you." With that, Sasuke left. As he was just planning, that guy seemed to be strong. Maybe he had some good techniques that he could use his Sharingan to copy. Good techniques that he could use to kill Itachi. He was sure that by antagonizing like that, he'd want to fight him in the upcoming exams. "Come with me," said Naruto. "We should go somewhere more private." Gaara looked toward him skeptically. As Naruto focused a bit of the fox chakra, Gaara was surprised as he felt the demonic power. He was like him. Shikaku started to go crazy, but Gaara found himself intrigued as he used a force of will to focus on Naruto and not the voice in his head. As Gaara followed Naruto, as Gaara realized that they were being led out of the village, he would crush him with his hand if he tried anything. As Naruto refused to speak as he led him straight into the woods. "I'm sure that you notice that I'm also a Jinchuriki, and judging by the look on your teammates' faces when they saw you, it seems it's not a secret. They are in fact my brother and sister, and yes, it is well known. I am feared through my village, because I'm a weapon and nothing more." "A weapon, huh?" said Naruto. "Well, tell me this. Do you want to be more? Is there a person in there who isn't a demon?" Gaara shook his head. "I proved my existence by killing," he said. "You should also understand. You are just like me. I can help you, you know." "Help me?" "Yes. Give you freedom by placing a better seal on the one that you currently have." Gaara looked towards Naruto, intrigued by the proposition, but before he could say anything, he gripped his head as he started to scream. Shikaku was going crazy. Gaara looked up. "Run," he said. Sand exploded outwards as Gaara found himself losing control. As the sand started to swirl around him, his body, his eyes taking on a demonic appearance. As a wave of sand came crashing down towards Naruto, Naruto exploded out of it with his electric staff. As Naruto moved, the sand came towards him. As Naruto twisted his staff, he destroyed it, moving through the sand with incredible speed. As he flashed behind Gaara, as Gaara's hand ripped right through him, but he had substituted with a log. He ripped the tail completely off that was forming behind Gaara as he slashed into the back, but the sand was too thick. As Naruto flipped over him and carved into the arm, as the sand arm fell, Naruto then turned as he was going to take off the other arm, but the sand on the ground reacted and slammed into Naruto with such force. He was sent sailing as he crashed through several trees before finally coming to a stop. As when Naruto looked up, the sand was already upon him as it wrapped around him tight. As Naruto found himself in his mindscape, as he looked up towards the beast that was in prison. "Looks like I'm dead," he said. "Do you think you cannot destroy Konoha?" "Idiot. You perform seals, but yet you never stood this one. If you die, I die with you. And there is no way I'm dying now, especially not to a weakling like Shikaku. You will beat him, or I will devour your soul in the afterlife. Now, accept my power." Back in the real world, the sand exploded outwards as Naruto stood there, as there was a cloak around him with one tail behind him. "Now, end this quickly." As Naruto dojutsu had changed, it was burning like he was on fire. As Naruto focused, this time he wouldn't make a silly mistake like that again. As his eyes switched to a modified explosion seal, as Naruto moved, he attacked Gaara with such force, using his staff to slam right against Gaara several times as he placed the seal all over Gaara's body, as they imprinted in the sand. Once Naruto was done, sealing art, said Naruto, "An inferno jutsu." As Naruto released the attack, as there was a seal in the middle of his palm that erupted in flames. Not just that, but the entire seals all over Gaara's body enacted in flames. Gaara screamed as his body was put on fire. His head was nearly blown off by the fire that slammed directly in his face, melting away the sand easily. As it pierced right through, some of the sand getting crystallized into glass. Gaara was blown away as his body was burned on the ground. Naruto stood there as he watched the sand around him start to slam into Gaara as he started to douse the flames. Naruto cursed shit as he jumped away. The sand gathered so much that he started to pool up in the sky. As Naruto watches the monstrosity in front of him transform into a beast. "I'm free," said Shikaku as he waved his hand. Hundreds of trees were decimated within a second as he blew them away. As Naruto flipped back, "Oh shit," he said, as he looked at the massive Shikaku in front of him. "It's times like this I wish I had a summoning contract. I'll have to look into that when I survive. If I survive," he thought to himself. "Hey Kyuubi, what is it, mortal scum? Give me 3 more tails worth of power. I'm gonna try something risky and dangerous. With the seal that you don't have on, using so much power will shorten your lifespan. And with me stuck in this decrepit seal, if you endanger my life, I will kill you. So end this fight in the next 10 seconds. "Don't worry, I will," said Naruto. As Naruto felt the power rush through him, his body felt like it was being set on flames. As Naruto focused on the giant tanuki, as his eyes started spinning rapidly, 10,000 modified seals were placed on Shikaku. The ones that Naruto just used on Gaara, one of them were equal to 5 of the ones that Naruto just used. So that burning sensation that Naruto left Gaara in a moment ago was equal to one of these 10,000 seals. As Shikaku's body was littered all over, the 10,000 seals spreading far and wide across his body. As Naruto activated all of them at once, the explosion was so massive that The entire Fire Nation shook. A fire blast shot straight up into the heavens. It went straight up as it dissipated clouds. The thing went on for a long, long while. A gigantic, massive crater was created as Naruto was protected by the cloak of the fox. When he landed, after being blown away by all the force, the cloak receded. As Naruto jumped, as he caught Gaara before he could hit the ground and die. The seal was too unstable, and the boy had been talking to him earlier. As Naruto's fingertips started to glow, as he quickly got to work on Gaara's seal. The Hokage and the Onvus finally arrived. As Naruto dropped Gaara on the ground, as he started to pant heavily, as Naruto felt his heartbeat slowing down. He overdid it, a bit too much. 10,000 seals were not an easy feat to pull off. As everything went black as Naruto collapsed, face first. Time skip. Naruto awoke to the sound of a heart monitor beat in the background. As Naruto noticed that he was hooked up to a breathing machine as well. As he saw doctors and nurses, one of them saw him woke up and showed something to the others. People were suddenly before him, one doctor, and an Onvu in a dog mask. The doctor looked at him in a mixture of disbelief and shock, and relief as well. And the mask was, well, it was a mask. As Naruto passed out once again, he found himself in his mindscape. I will be free from this cage. What's happening? Said Naruto, as he saw the cage was crumbling. The bars were crumbling, and the ceiling tag was partially ripped. Foolish mortal. I may have respected you, but the seal has weakened, and I will escape. The fox started to bang against the cage, as the thing started to tremble and get even weaker. Back in the outside world, as red chakra exploded out of Naruto, as a few of the medical staff was thrown, as they were violently broke through the wall, as the red chakra was whipping around like crazy, as four tails appear, as Naruto's eyes start to burn, his bloodline activated, the sixth tail forming on him, as Naruto switched through all the seal that he knew, despite the agony that he was going through. As Naruto noticed the Onvu there, as he was trying to suppress the power inside of Naruto with a seal. As Naruto looked down towards his shirt, the Onvu saw Naruto's eyes, as he fired a blue beam of chakra and destroyed it, burning away the shirt. As Naruto projected a 4-image seal over the old one, as the tail stopped forming at the 8th. As Naruto looked toward the skin that was still burning, but soon the burning sensation started to fade away. The next thing that he knew, it receded and receded and receded until all the tails vanished. As the last of the evil chakra moved back in his body, as Naruto noticed the deformity of his seal, it wasn't the one that he had before. This seal showed a yin and yang symbol with two fox heads. Instead of the usual dots that the yin and yang symbol had, it was black and white, and surrounding it was 4 larger divination seals. Interlaced in the seal was a pattern of 9 tails spreading out from the center as they coil around each other. As the Onvu was just looking at him, as Naruto was fully awake. Uzumaki-san, I believe I was told that your dojutsu was green, correct? As Naruto looked up towards the man, confused how he was not affected by demonic chakra. Who are you? Tenzu, Onvu captain. How are you unaffected by the chakra? Said Naruto. Tenzu was silent for a few seconds until he spoke. I possess a bloodline that helped me control demons. The demonic chakra could not kill me by striking at random. Ah, that sounds helpful, said Naruto. Yes. Now, isn't your dojutsu normally green? Yes, why? Your eyes. They're still red. As Naruto looked towards his eyes, from the broken mirror, they were still in demonic form. As Naruto wondered, was his eyes like the Uchiha's? Could it evolve? Hey, your name is Tenzo, right? Yes, Uzumaki-san. Tell me, are my eyes still scrolling through seals? Yes, why do you ask? I'm trying to figure out if my eyes have different level of power, if something has changed. I'm afraid I don't know what to help, said Tenzo. As Naruto frowned as he looked down, The seal on his stomach was one that was not his doing. Somehow a mix of what he did and the one that was already there. But that was not what surprised him. A simple glance and he knew what it did. Knowledge started to flood his mind. As Naruto realized something, he was able to copy seals in the way Uchiha's copy jutsu. Sorry, what was that set into? Well, I'm correct. Seems I reached a different level of my dojutsu, said Naruto. I can project seals like before, but now something else has happened. I can also analyze seals. I look at my new seal, something I never seen before, and I instantly know what it did, without doing any research. Interesting. You really are one surprising ninja. You were able to defeat the Shikaku on your own. That's an impressive feat not many can do. A rare select few. As Naruto's eyes snapped to focus, everything came flooding back. Gaara, the battle, the 10,000 seals. Everything came back in his mind as he looked up toward Tento, as he wanted some answers. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications they posted. And also guys, remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Broken by the People That He Loved on this channel, and enjoy that guys. And over in Anime King 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Rewrote the Past. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And also, over on Anime King 3, I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Sent to a Parallel Multiverse. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new, yes, I did have 3 channels, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, which I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.